Hey everyone, John Lorden here with a very special Brain Scratch Searchlight update. You remember the case we covered of Chelsea Poorman? If you don't, I'm going to have a link in the description box down below. Watch that episode, then come back to this one. Today, we are speaking with Chelsea's father, Mike Kiernan, and let's get right to it. Here he is right now. How you doing, Mike?
I'm good, thank you, John.
Now, unfortunately, we wanted to do some Zoom video on this, but Mike is out and about. He's in the van, just like you saw in the first episode. Zoom didn't work so great, so we're going to stick with the phone call just to make sure we get the information across. But speaking about the van, Mike, how long has this been going on now? How long have you been in the van doing the VanLife thing to raise exposure?
Well, I guess it's going to about 4 months now. It's going into its fourth month. I did go back and forth, searching and posting and talking with people, meeting with people, and trying to raise awareness.
Yeah.
So now I'm back covering British Columbia. I feel I do want to get a lot more ground covered, but for some reason it just keeps on coming back to the start of it. And every day I wake up and I think, okay, I got to start from the beginning. And if I'm not by the actual area where she was last seen, I feel a little bit lost. I'm not sure where to start. So.
Gotcha. How many miles do you think you've done? Are you keeping track?
I'm terrible with that kind of thing. I've done. I recently posted an update on I think it's Facebook. Just the journey, the journey so far, and it's quite extensive.
Yeah.
I have done. It's nonstop. It's a lot of driving. It's a lot of stopping. What I do like to do is stop in an area, and then I'll post to the whole area and continue. So,
right.
Yeah, it's a lot of miles for sure.
And where are you today exactly?
Well, today I wanted to have a nice spot for the interview with you, so I try to find a nice. I'm just outside of Vancouver, so I guess I'm in Surrey.
Okay.
Sorry, there's a few more spots that I want to poster up here. So.
Yeah. And that's really one of the tough things about having a missing loved one like this. I think you said it so well. You're waking up every morning and it's like you're at square one time and time again, right?
It is. The best way I can refer to it is I keep on talking about Groundhog Day. It's the same day, nonstop.
Yeah.
When nothing changes, it's the same bad dream day in and day out. And today, I always figure today's the day. We're gonna find her today. She's gonna surface today, and so this will all go away. But every night it's hard to go to sleep. Wondering if tomorrow's gonna be the day or not.
So, do you get home at all, or are you staying in the van 24/7 at this point?
Oh no, it's 24/7. I'm in the van 24/7. It's turned into my home.
Yeah.
I don't see that changing until she's found.
Yeah. Is this tough on your relationship with Sheila?
I haven't had a relationship with Sheila in probably we had a brief relationship at the very beginning when the kids were very young.
Okay.
And that ended several years ago. I ended up with custody of the three girls and raised them.
Oh wow!
With my spouse. With my spouse. And Chelsea had left at an early age, about she's 16, going on 16.
Yeah.
And then back home and such. But
yeah, which we see kind of happen with divided families like that. The kids will sometimes want to move back. It seems like around those teen years. See, that's a kind of a common
absolutely,
thing.
Yep. Absolutely, she had a lot of things to express, I guess, when she was growing up, and she's a great kid. But,
yeah, and thank you for sharing. He has shared some photos with us. We're going to be bringing some of those up as the interview goes on, and I know from me looking through these photos, I'm seeing a lot of love. I'm seeing a lot of love between the whole family there. So kind of back to my question about that. So there's a new spouse, a new wife. Is this tough on her having you out and about like this?
Well, this kind of turned into my new life, I guess. I'm not sure if we're going to. I've left. I've left the relationship to pursue this,
Gotcha.
and it's been honestly, John. I thought me leaving and coming out to Vancouver was going to be a probably maybe 2-3 days tops. I'd find Chelsea. She was out. Maybe met some friends. Was upset with her mother and whatever the case is, and just needed a little bit of space. So when I decided to come out, it was going on the third month, and I figured, okay, in the meantime, obviously I was checking Saskatchewan and Regina, and making a lot of contacts and phone calls, and meeting with a lot of people there.
Yeah.
There was $10,000 raised for an award.
Right.
My thing was to get that reward out. I tried to encourage Chelsea's mother's side of the family to get that reward out a lot sooner. It would have been nice, but because my fear was that, was that when that reward came out, in my heart, I knew there was going to be two ways it was going to go, and it was either going to be if it was what I had hoped, and she was just let's say she just wanted to start fresh and just wanted to go at it on her own, and maybe just have a little bit of distance for a while, clear her mind, whatever the case was. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Then obviously, the friends that she may have been with, or somebody would have turned her in for $10,000.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And that was my biggest fear, is when that reward came out, okay, either she's going to get found right away, or I'm going to have to change my life and head on out.
Right. And that's another heartbreaking aspect of this.
It does. It changes it 100% for me. And just because, obviously she wasn't, called in by anybody, and kind of takes it in my mind to another level that she may be in a lot more trouble than I had anticipated.
Right.
I'm scared for her.
Yeah, as we all are. We're all very concerned about this. It's been too long. It's been a long time. So you get in the van, you start going around. You're placing posters. You're raising awareness. The outside of the van gets all the artwork. We've got pictures of Chelsea all over it. How has I know online you've got amazing support and a great response. How has it been at the ground level when you're pulling into some new area to raise awareness? How's the general response been towards you?
I've got to say it's, I'm going to say probably 1 out of 1,000 people may approach and want to talk a little bit more. It's almost like it's people look at it just because I haven't seen this out there. I know there's awareness, a lot of awareness being raised about missing people, and it's great. But I haven't seen too many vehicles, with missing people on them.
Yeah.
So it may be something. I'm not saying it's new, but it may be something that people aren't used to. So when they do see them, they're not quite sure how to feel, or I can feel a lot of people, like if I'm at a red light, I can feel a lot of people staring.
Yeah.
But when I look at them, they look away. So it's kind of a in your face approach. It's like taking it to the next. Like, I need help. I need everybody to you just keep their eyes open to look for them, to look out, to take an extra look to see if they see her or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to basically doing everything I possibly can, and I don't know how else to get her name out there.
Yeah, no, I think I've only seen one other case, and it was actually a homicide case. It was a mother that was driving around the country to raise awareness to her daughter's homicide, where she had taken a similar approach and actually completely decked out the outside of her vehicle with artwork with details about what happened to her daughter. And you're right. It's, for a lot of people, and I think you bump into this even with the media coverage, sometimes it makes them uncomfortable and they're not willing to talk about that story. And if you do make it to the media coverage, which honestly, in this case, we've had some pretty decent media coverage.
Absolutely.
Then there's the next level about the home viewer, and they have that same kind of, sometimes it's a defense mechanism. They just don't want to expose their heart to a situation that might be hurtful in some way, that they don't want to understand the reality of. And quite honestly, I think a lot of that could be said just about the missing and murdered Indigenous women problem in general. But yeah,
absolutely. It's almost like some people, they're okay to watch it on the news. They're okay to see it on the internet.
Yeah.
But they have a totally different demeanor about them when it's kind of in their face. When you pull up next to them, when you put a poster up in front of them, when you have them on the poster, it takes a whole new, like you said, it's a real, it's one heck of a roller coaster of emotions. I got to tell you that. It's and I get that, and but at the same time, awareness is so important. I can't stress that enough. And I feel sometimes okay, Mike, you got to stop. You really got to stop. You got to take a break. Rip the van apart, clean it out, do something. But then I find myself, right back at it, and I'm telling myself, okay, you need to,
right.
You need to just, everyone's saying, stop for a day and take a break. And, my feet are so swollen up now, and they're getting worse. I don't know why, but
yeah.
Anyway.
Well, it's interesting because just the visual of it, like knowing that the van has all this imagery on the outside of it, of this big pain in your life, and you are literally spending all your time inside of that van. It doesn't take a genius to realize you're a person that is living from one moment to the next dealing with that pain. And I think that's part of the benefit of bringing it to the road like you are, and showing others that example of this is real. This is stuff that really happens to people. This isn't just something that's wrapped up in a little 1-hour drama on television and everyone has their happy ending. You're literally living with that pain on a day-to-day basis. But you could also see it as you're the hope in that situation as well, and that's something that I hope that you hold on to through all this. I know it's a lot of time that you're out there solo. I know it feels like you're pushing a boulder uphill on your own, but in a lot of ways, I see you as a big shot of hope for this case, and it desperately needs that. To kind of roll back just a little bit, I want to understand Chelsea better, because a lot of the media really didn't go into who she really was as a person. As a matter of fact, I think I only found one note that even said that there was 3 girls, right? 3 sisters that effectively you wind up taking care of.
That's right. Yeah. What happened is, Sheila and I had, we had a relationship, and Sheila had just had Chelsea. When we were friends way back then, and I went to see her in the hospital, and when she had Chelsea, and she had told me that she was going to give her up for adoption, and I was adopted myself, and I said, well, can I go see her? And she hadn't seen her at that point, and I asked her if I can go see Chelsea, and she said, yeah, go see her. And so when I went into the room where Chelsea was, here was this sorry, John.
No.
Here was this beautiful little girl with this head of brown hair. It's just amazing. And her, she's just lying there, and her nostrils look like 2 little hearts. She's lying down, and this feeling came over me, and I remember going back and saying to Sheila, I said, listen, if would you consider, keeping Chelsea if I stick around with you, and we do it together? Because I don't know what it was, but something changed in me that day, and I just and that was the start of it. So, And we ended up together, and then Sheila and I had Paige, which was the youngest. I mean, this is going back so many years. Diamond was born in '93, Chelsea '95, and Paige in 1998.
Okay.
So this goes way back.
So you wind up being there.
Yeah, I wind up
right from the beginning, basically, for Chelsea's life.
I named Chelsea. I gave Chelsea her name.
Wow.
Yeah, I gave her her first name, and Sheila named her middle name, which was Dawn. And of course, stuck with Sheila's last name, Poorman.
Right. So tell us a little bit about Chelsea's personality and like what types of things was she into when she was younger, career aspirations. Like we really didn't learn much about her from the media, unfortunately.
No, Chelsea and I, we really, she just stuck to me. We connected like we just had this amazing bond. We do have this amazing bond right from the start. She was always a little bit different. She was she always had a different take on everything, and it was a lot of it was from her heart. She would always think about everything and everybody, and consider everybody's feelings. And such a caring. She was always so caring. Just an amazing individual. Just a truly incredible personality.
Yeah.
And
what did she like to do? How'd she like to spend her time?
She loves animals.
Mm-hmm.
She loves animals. She was always into art. She liked to coloring and things like that when she was younger, and artwork. She did a great piece. I remember she did a great project on Terry Fox.
Mm.
And it's just always looking out for. It's hard to explain. Just she was very active. She liked to bike. We always had a pool. We always had the pools for the kids, so she was always swimming. I always had jet skis, so we would do a lot of jet skiing in the wintertime, skidooing. She learned how to drive a skidoo, and we spent a lot of time just doing a lot of things, a lot of fun stuff when the kids were growing up.
Yeah. And what about career aspirations? Did she know what she wanted to be later in life?
Later in life, she had a lot of great ideas and things that she was passionate about. She certainly wanted to be a paramedic. After she had gotten into an accident, she had a whole new desire to become a paramedic, and she was also into the music arts, so she was also wanting to pursue something in music as well.
Right.
She had a huge interest in that. And
was it any particular thing?
More current.
Any particular thing in music? Was it singing or performing an instrument?
Yeah, she was. She had a thing for rap music.
Ah.
so
yeah.
She wanted to she wanted to try some rapping. So
okay.
And she had some good ones. So
yeah. Now, am I correct about the tattoo removal?
You're absolutely correct, and thank you so much for pointing that out. That's just something I wanted to talk to you about too.
Okay.
She did have some tattoos on her neck, and yeah, she was in the process of having them removed. So on her neck, there's just a little bit of a marking that's left.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was she getting removed from anywhere or everywhere? Because I couldn't really find a very solid description of any that were remaining, or obviously the chest one, it looks like disappeared.
Yeah, there's the one on the neck is just there's just still that little piece that remains. In some photos you can see it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have it. It's a good point that you make, because it's not very talked about, but it's a definite indication that it's Chelsea. So
okay. And according to the story we heard, she moved to Burnaby, right, just a few weeks before.
Well, you see, when she had come out here, we weren't exactly talking a lot.
Okay.
Excuse me. So when she had come here, I guess she had. Well, if you want the truth here, she wanted to come out here. She wanted because Paige had come out here.
Right.
Her younger sister had come out here, and Chelsea was coming out here, and she wanted to go stay with her mom and Paige, and unfortunately, her mom said she was not welcome to stay with her.
Okay.
So whatever happened there, she was staying with a guy. I guess she knew a guy here, or perhaps knew him, or I'm not exactly 100% sure of the story, but I guess she had a boyfriend here.
Right.
And so I guess it was in Burnaby.
Okay. And I was trying to make sense out of that because the way it was described from the light descriptions I could find was that she had moved in with a boyfriend, and but I was going to ask, like, well, what happened with that relationship? Because it's just a matter of weeks later that she disappears.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have all the details on that, and it's something that nobody really seems to want to talk about. So
yeah.
I would see, and I was under the impression because I wasn't here, and they knew that I would be a little bit, obviously against it. I had assumed that she was out here staying with her mom and sister.
Right.
So that's the impression I got. So when I talked to them, when I talked to Paige and Chelsea, it was video, and they were together, and I just never second thought it, and nobody ever mentioned that she was staying with some guy.
Just from an investigative standpoint, do you know if that guy has been questioned or interviewed?
He's been interviewed, questioned, and I believe he's been cleared by the police. Not to say I don't know if it's an ongoing, as far as he's concerned. But
okay,
yeah, he was. I think we'll just leave it. He was investigated, and for sure.
And with the last phone call that happened, Paige wasn't under the impression that Chelsea was with that guy in particular, right?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Now, we did find that mention of she kind of disappeared, and I guess this is making more sense now. So it seems like there was a little falling out between her and her mom. She goes off to stay with this guy, and she's out of contact for a matter of days at that point, and her mom thinks that she might be missing, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Was there...
Again, even on that situation, I don't have a lot of the details.
No problem. Was there any precedence before for Chelsea going missing? Had she ever done that in her earlier years where she would disappear for?
Yeah, she has done that. Yeah, she has done that in her earlier years. There's been a couple of missing reports filed. It's only been a matter of a few days. But not like this. Nothing ever like this.
Right. And do you think, I was kind of asking this in the last video, but do you think that the previous disappearances impacted the police response at all?
I can't speak for the police. I can't.
Yeah.
So I can't really comment on that.
Okay. I think that's
I don't
fair.
know. Yeah.
But you obviously don't have a strong feeling then that, that it did impact them, like from your perspective, or you're not getting any sense from your interaction with them that they're treating it any differently or anything like that.
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Now this night that Chelsea and Paige go to this apartment, I know you've been all over that area. Do you know at the apartment hangout how many people are there?
Like in the apartment building?
Yeah, well, in the actual apartment, that the friend that they went to visit, was it literally just the friend was there, or was it like a little party?
No, you see, and I don't know those details. I'm not familiar. I'm not aware of who exactly was all there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just wondering if there was other people there, and were they questioned, or did they notice, how Chelsea was acting?
I do understand. Yeah, I do understand that anybody that was there was questioned. So.
Okay.
But I can't say for certain who was all there and how many people were there.
Yeah. Have you spoken to Paige much about this?
I have spoken to her about it. Yep.
Okay. I was just wondering if she noticed anything odd with Chelsea going on that night, or what was the context of Chelsea leaving the apartment?
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain if there was no mention. She never mentioned to me that anything was odd. I know I know they may have had there might have been a little bit of a disagreement, and Chelsea was leaving.
Okay.
Um,
Do you know what they were disagreeing about?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So then we get to the phone call. Have you asked Paige if she thought that phone call went normally? Was that like a typical sister interaction for them? Had they been down this road before of one of them kind of peeling off from the other?
Not really. So for her to leave, it was enough to raise Paige's concern to try and her hardest to get a hold of her.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and when I guess I know if she had there was texts and phone calls and so forth, and I guess finally she got a hold of her and she said she was with somebody, and that's I believe to be the last phone call that
right.
Before her cell phone, I guess, apparently went off.
Yeah, and just to confirm this, so no cell phone activity after that point, it never powered back up, or no additional text messages?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
And
Nothing.
What about bank card
Nothing
activity?
that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Nothing that I'm aware of, no.
Nothing on bank cards, nothing on social media?
Nothing.
Okay.
It's just like she just, turned everything off, and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No social media, no bank card activity, no phone calls, no texts, no Facebook, no Twitter, no Snapchat, no none of those things.
Okay. And of course, the big question that we were trying to look into, the CCTV footage. And we had some commenters that actually live in the area that were, first of all, concerned because they weren't aware of the case. But second of all, we're saying they either live in or have been to that area frequently, and from their perception, it seems like there's cameras everywhere. Are you aware of any actual CCTV footage that was tracked down that shows Chelsea on it?
Well, they do have actual footage of her leaving, of them leaving the Belmont Hotel.
Okay.
That's the only footage that they were able to come up with in their search for any footage.
Okay. I'm wondering if that came from the bank, because the bank was on that corner in between.
No, it actually came from the Belmont Hotel.
Oh, it came from the hotel itself. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, it came from the hotel.
Okay. But then nothing after that. And kind of to the point I was trying to raise, just knowing what direction she went in could at least be somewhat helpful. I saw the footage of you standing in front of the apartment saying that, this is the last place she's seen. Right across the street from that, we have the police community services building. Did they have a camera?
There is. They have. I believe they have 2 cameras or 3 cameras on that building. One faces both sides of the sidewalk. There's either 2 or 3.
Okay.
2 of them may face up and down the sidewalk. I believe from when I went in there, the gentleman says that there is one that points across the street. However, unfortunately, due to some water damage, it wasn't working.
Of course. I can't tell you how often I hear this in these cases. The camera that could be helpful for some reason isn't working. But you and I were speaking earlier, and you raised a very important point. The camera could be helpful. However, that's not the only way out of that building, right?
No, it's not. In fairness to the cameras, if you think about it, there's only 33% of a chance that the camera could have caught her coming out the front, because there's also the back door and there's also the parkade exit.
Okay.
And so you would have to go down into the parkade and then drive out from there. So there's 2 exits, basically 2 exits in the back and 1 in the front.
Yeah. And a lot of people have really been zeroing in on the apartment building. I've got a lot of viewers that are asking, do we even know if she left the apartment building? Have you done some investigating around there? What are some of the things that you've tried to find out? Yeah.
I have, and my point is the same. Because of the fact that there is no footage, and I'm not, I know there's a 5-kilometer radius on pinging a cell phone.
Right.
So, I'm not exactly sure how all that stuff works, but my point is, from what I feel, for all the cameras, for all the people, I'm not convinced that I can say. I don't know how to put this properly. there's no evidence that she actually, physically left that building.
Yeah.
Because it falls. There's no evidence. There's just no evidence. There's no physical evidence of it, right?
Right.
Now, I'm not saying she didn't. It sounds to me like she did, and she may have met somebody. But it also sounds to me like she may have Paige got a hold of her. Not to say that who's to say that she wasn't still in the building and met somebody in the building if that's what happened, right?
Yeah.
Nowhere does it say that she was in a car driving or went anywhere. There's no physical. There's just no evidence of of her leaving that building. So,
do you know if they looked at the cell phone information, the tower that she was connected to? Did it make sense that she was still in that location, in that area?
Yeah, I know that the cell phone. I can't really comment on that because I'm gonna mess it all up because I don't know how to explain all that stuff. But yeah, I guess the last ping on her phone was so within the same radius. I guess the towers it maps a 5-kilometer radius.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah. They work kind of off a range. It's not the same as a GPS that would be down to like 5 feet difference. For the pings, it's way wider. So
yeah.
Well, that's an interesting thing. Have you heard of anyone trying to look into location information based off her cell phone? Like Google tracks, if you have it turned on, Google tracks everywhere that you go with their Google timeline feature.
I know the police are doing a lot of work on it. I know they can't comment on a lot. I know they can't even tell me anything.
Yeah.
Just because it's an ongoing investigation. It's frustrating, but I'm starting to understand a little bit better. So.
Yeah. Well, and it's a terrible thing to go down too far in terms of thought when you're this early into a case. But if a terrible situation happens and there needs to be some type of prosecution or something, you're going to be glad that they followed the right steps back at this time.
No, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. All right. Focusing back on the building. Did the building have cameras? The apartment building?
Well, I was told that the cameras weren't working. I guess they did check the cameras. They were told that they weren't working. I did a little thing on my own, and I went into the building, and first of all, what I did, John, is on the outside of the building, there's an apartment phone number and a caretaker phone number for, like, it says apartment for rent.
Yeah.
And then it says call this number. When you call that number, a caretaker answers. So I had asked them. I would express some interest as to, do you have any places for rent and so forth. And so we got into this conversation. And then I went into, it looks like a secure building. I said I walked by there and there's a camera in the lobby, so that keeps everything secure. And he said, well, no, that's not. That's only for the owner. So there's no access to the camera from tenants or the caretaker. Apparently, the owner is the only one that has access to the camera.
Okay.
With that, I found out the owner actually lives in the building. I believe he lives in the building on the first floor, and there's like an office on the first floor there by the elevator. So I had gone in there and I had just pretended to act shady, and like I was pretending to jiggle the door, which I wasn't even touching, so there was no noise. And then somebody came whipping out. So, okay. In my opinion, the camera does work, but the owner is the only one who can access that.
Did you ask him to access it?
Yeah, I did, and he said it wouldn't show anything.
I wonder if police.
I don't know if it saves it or if it's just real time and.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm hoping that obviously if that's the last location she was seen at, that police would have asked him as well, and then if there was some recording, got a copy of it. I'm almost positive, but.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow. So we're not really 100% sure. We have no evidence to say that she did actually exit the building. Any leads in terms of who she's with? Have you been able to, are you hearing rumors at least around the building or anything?
I haven't heard nothing.
Nothing.
I've talked to everybody. I shouldn't say everybody, but I've talked to so many people, and for myself, I haven't even so much as got anything. I mean, there was a couple of tips I never the possible sightings that the police did check the cameras and it wasn't her.
Right. Okay. I know previously when you were on the VanCity VanLife episode, you were very strong, I think, in your support of law enforcement. And let me just say that when I speak to families in this situation, a lot of the times they're on the other side of that coin. They're frustrated. They feel like they're not getting all the attention they deserve. So it was pretty unique for me to see someone from your perspective, really trying to back them up, trying to thank them for the attention that they're given this case. Is that still where you're at today?
Absolutely. Like you said, a lot of people will get frustrated, and you know what? It is frustrating, especially when you hear that they can't tell you. There's not a lot they can tell you because it's an ongoing investigation. As you commented earlier, if something has happened, you're going to be thankful that they did follow, their guidelines on not sharing any information. As frustrating as it is, I know they're working on it. I know they're doing their best. I know they're not just, it's not just a file that's tossed into a corner and forgotten about. And then, when you talk to them, yeah, we're working on it. Unfortunately, they can't give you any updates,
Right.
and just because it's an ongoing investigation. So,
Yeah.
Every time I do have communication with them. I do have communication quite a bit with them. By email, by conversations, and they have been extremely helpful. They have listened to some of, my concerns that I bring up. They have addressed them. They've been extremely, helpful with stuff that I wanted to address. They've always gotten back to me and so forth and so forth. But, of course, I mean, they're the ones working on this, or they're the ones who are investigating it. So, I want as much positivity and good stuff to, the communication, and I want it to be a positive thing.
Yeah. Well, and even
end,
the stuff I was asking for, kind of in the episode, like, hey, can't they just at least tell us where a sighting is so that we know of a following location, and we could start asking the public for, hey, were you at this particular place at this particular time? But after talking to you today, we're not even sure that they have any other trace of her on camera after her disappearance. We know now about the one back at the Belmont, but that's before she went missing. So
that's before she went missing. Yeah. That just shows a time where they left the Belmont, went to the apartment building.
Right. So even that, we're not even sure that VPD has that level of information to put out at this point. So it's really tough to expect much more from them on that. Do you feel like there's any piece of information that hasn't been raised to the proper level of exposure in terms of media coverage or anything like that?
No, I don't. I really don't. I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure what else.
Yeah. What is the biggest challenge right now that you feel facing all this, dealing with all this?
Just the not knowing.
Yeah.
The not knowing, the hopes that I'm going to drive around the next corner and there she's going to be, or the phone's going to ring and I'll be her, or I'll get a phone call saying, yeah, we found her, or
Right.
It's been it's 8 months now, and obviously at this point I feel either, obviously the worst has happened, or she's being held against her will. With all the media attention, with all the bolstering, with all the word of mouth, with all the talking, she has to have been seen by now. She would have been seen by now. She would have been found.
Yeah.
Without a doubt in my mind. It's not a case of where she's hiding. It's just not that at all. I already know that 100%. I know her very well, and she is not certainly not capable of doing something like this.
Right. And it's way outside the scope of the situations you told us about before. Like, this isn't, she got mad at her sister and she's not going to talk to her for a couple days. I mean, we're way beyond that with the time frame that we're looking at now.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, we're all really, really concerned at this point. And in my heart, I feel that I feel she's she's either being held against her will or the worst possible case scenario.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you remember, Mike, you're that beam of hope in this, and if that's hope for bringing her home, that's what it is. If it's hope for finding the truth, that's what it is. If it's the energy needed to pursue justice after the fact, that's what it is. I know that you're not going to let this go, that you're going to see this all the way through, and
Oh, absolutely.
know that you've got
absolutely.
a bunch of...
And that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. No, that being said, I do have 100% hope that she is going to be around the next corner, next street I drive down. I'm going to see her, and that's what keeps me going.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It is really hard, and I know anybody that's got a missing family member. I know how hard it is, and it's a nightmare. To be honest, it's a nightmare. But you got to keep positive. You got to keep focused, and that gets harder and harder as time goes on, I think. But
yeah, well, you mentioned early on that maybe it's 1 in 1,000 people that are actually engaging you out there, but knowing how long you've been out there, that means that you've been bumping into at least a decent size of people that are taking interest, that are taking a flyer, that are giving you a moment to listen. I just wanted to ask, how have people been most helpful to you on this mission? Are there any businesses in particular or individuals that you want to thank?
Well, I certainly want to thank everybody for helping to create the awareness, for putting up posters, for keeping this alive and not just the end of the story that falls off the map sort of thing. I know a lot of people are concerned about it, and strangers are concerned about it. I get a lot of messages from a lot of people that do care. There's a lot of support, and that stuff keeps me going. The comments I read on your story, John, is just is wonderful. It's encouraging, and it brings a lot of energy to it, a lot of positive energy to keep it going, not just to sit back and just wait it out, but. Without that, there's so many times where I felt like, okay, that's it. I'll just sit back and wait. It's just a waiting game. But with the positivity of people, it's certainly a motivating factor to keep going.
Yeah, and I think one of the people we have to add to that group is Chrome.
Chrome was absolutely. I've watched Chrome for years, and I tell you, with just watching his show was a pleasure of mine. Is something that I was able to watch and just relax about, get take away from everything else, and just get that little bit of a relaxation going. But I was amazed to meet him. It's so sad that I had to meet him under these circumstances. And I had emailed him actually to see if he would to help raise awareness. And then here's a good story. And then I get a phone call from Paige one day, and just have you heard from Chrome? I said, oh, not yet. Anyway, she just calls me and says, oh, we got to go for coffee. And so I go meet Paige, and she says, I got a surprise for you. And anyway, I guess in the meantime, she was mass emailing Chrome, and got his attention. And he says, okay, yeah, okay. Get your dad to give me a shout. So
wow,
a lot of effort went into from Paige and Diamond as well. So
that's awesome.
Awesome. That was fantastic. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Any advice for other families that are facing the same situation you are? I mean, first of all, I can say doing what you're doing, putting the message out there in the real world like that is unique. I think we're gonna hopefully see more people recognize that and maybe take that step themselves. But anything that you would say to another family having a missing loved one like this?
Oh, man. I think awareness is where it's at. I think the most media attention, you can't stop. You gotta, if nobody gets back to you, you gotta call them twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. The posters and just, I think a website is a good idea. I think social media, I think the Facebook pages is a great idea. For us, I know, for our website, you're able to print posters off. So something to just to raise the awareness and keep it raised and keep it going and have options for anybody that is interested in helping. To simply click a button, print a poster, and put it up in their neighborhood. It can mean the world. It could be the poster that finds you.
Right.
So I guess be positive and have as much communication with the police as possible. Understand that. It is going to be frustrating, dealing with the police because it is going to be an ongoing investigation, and you're just going to have to work with them as the best you can.
Yeah. I also just wanted to call out, there was a new feature that I hadn't noticed before on your website where you've implemented Zendesk there. So it's almost got like a interactive chat that you can jump right in on. As well. And did you want to thank who's been designing and programming your website for you?
I certainly do. I know he doesn't want to be thanked, and I know he doesn't want any attention, but Blair has been, helping me with the website and constantly trying to update it, and he does it all. He's got his own server. So he's a small-time guy there, but he's been doing it from just out of his heart and caring. And
yeah. That's amazing.
And I can't thank him enough. And the Zendesk, he added a feature there, which is great. It's a chat feature, so you can click on it and chat live. Or if we do happen to miss you, then I'll certainly get back to you. It's another way of remaining anonymous.
Yeah, great. Yeah, thank you so much, Blair, for helping Mike out with this.
Oh yeah.
All right. How can people that are watching? How can we help your efforts?
I can't stress enough. There's going to the website and printing a poster and putting it up in your neighborhood. That I think awareness is it's the most you can do to help with awareness would be printing a poster and putting it up.
Yep, and that website is chelseapoorman.com.
Yeah.
On top of that, you still have the GoFundMe going. We tried to slide you a little gas money.
I do, and I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. And it's I tell you, out here it's like $1.50 something a liter. I don't know how these guys do it out here, but
right.
Yeah, it is still up, and it's certainly very helpful. And yeah, it's certainly appreciated too.
Yeah,
it does make a difference for sure.
One last question, Mike. If Chelsea's out there, if somehow this video gets in front of her eyes, what do you want her to know?
Oh, damn, that's tough. Dad, I love you so much. Oh, we all love you so much. You're amazing. I missed you so much. And we just brought you home and safe, and I just want to hang out again with you and go on a road trip with you and just get back to the way things were.
Well, I'm pretty sure that she'd be telling you what
it
amazing.
Hasn't been the same. It hasn't been the same with her. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's amazing. She's so incredible.
Well, Mike, I know she gets that from someone, and I got to tell you, there was a lot of people on the last video that were talking about what an amazing father you are. So
she's an amazing kid.
Yeah.
They're all amazing kids, and that's what makes an amazing parent, right? Is your kids.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Well, Mike, we're here with you every step of the way. If there's anything we can do to help you in the future, please reach out. Let me know. We'll get it done. Any updates that happen, even if you just need to chat for a while, just let me know. Okay.
I appreciate that, John. I really do.
All right. Sit tight.
And again, I want to really say thank you to everybody for actually getting awareness out there and printing those posters and putting them up. I can't stress how important it is.
You got it. You got it, Mike. Sit tight. I'll be right back with you. That is Mike Kiernan, father of Chelsea Poorman. We've got many more details. We know a lot more about Chelsea, about Mike, about her early years, about her personality, but also the reality that Mike wakes up every morning back at square one, and he's a man on a mission that's not going to stop at any point. Hopefully some good lessons in here for other families that are facing similar situations. I know I've got some considerations I'm going to add to the brainscratchers.com missing persons page based off what Mike's sharing with us here as well. So that's it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with us. We'll see you again here on the Lord and Arts channel.